everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Liz, aka My Pastel Past, and I do a ton of cozy game content here on YouTube. I am so excited to be bringing you all today's video. Today we're doing another collab. For today's collab, we had to make our favorite Christmas memory or our favorite thing about Christmas, and I got to work with so many amazing content creators. In this collab, we have Marquand Crossing, Amy Slays, Twilight Fairy, Toki Plays, Januki, Strong Mom Games, Beckelin Gaming, Dongela, Gothrock Fairy, April Honey, Shiver, and Brooke. I'll have all of their videos linked down in the description, so please go check them out as well, and I am so excited for this build. With that being said, let's hop right into this video. So for this collab, we had to do either our favorite Christmas memory or our favorite thing about Christmas. And for me, when I think about Christmas, the two things that come to mind are decorating for the season and waking up and being with my family on Christmas. Now, I'm not sure how I can make waking up with family into a build, so I tried to incorporate two of them by decorating and doing this interior build and then also making it into like my bedroom of sorts. So we're working with a really small area, but there was a lot of elements that I wanted to incorporate, that being obviously the bedroom aspect, waking up with it, but I also wanted to do like a little bit of a living room situation. So obviously the fireplace and the Christmas tree, as in my childhood home, we would always place the Christmas tree right next to the fireplace, and I remember late at night, we would turn all the lights off and light candles and have these little lanterns illuminate the room. And my mom and I would put on Christmas music and we would decorate the tree together with all of our favorite ornaments that we've collected over the years. And then afterwards, we would bake cookies and curl up in this giant armchair right next to the fireplace and then either like read a book together or play some sort of board game and just only be illuminated by the light in the area. So I really wanted to use as many glowy objects as I could. So obviously I have the fireplace, I have the glowing ornament and the Christmas tree to light it up. And if you know me, you know that I absolutely love the color pink. Obviously, I was never allowed to decorate for Christmas, otherwise I would have made everything pink. But I've always wanted to have a pink Christmas. So for this build, I decided to make everything as pink as possible. So I have my pink tree and like pretty much all of the decorations I have are pink to a degree, or at least as many as I could get pink. If I could have a pink fireplace and a pink Christmas carpet in this game, I 100% could. I think it's like they stole that away from us. We should have had that be a thing in game. But once most of these main elements are in, it's mostly just about figuring out where I'm gonna place things. I decided to do it in the smaller room instead of the really big wide open space because I just felt like with it being Christmas and cold, it needed to be in a really cozy, warm environment. So that's why I chose this smaller room instead of like the big room upstairs. I obviously had to pick the snowy wallpaper because I am from the land of maple syrup and hockey up north where it's cold and currently snowing, and I just felt like it was very fitting. A lot of my memories of wintertime and Christmas when we're not decorating or being with family would be playing outside in these giant snow banks outside of our homes. I grew up in an area where there was tons of snow, so by the time we finished shoveling the driveway, the snow piles would be just as big as I was. And then I would run and I would grab the shovel, like the shovel, I don't know what it's called, just like the shoveling for shoveling the driveway. And we would dig out holes inside of these giant snowbanks because it was such thick, heavy, wet snow, it would stick together. And we would make like these little burrow tunnels where we would like make little homes almost inside of it and just like play house or hide in it, almost like an igloo, but not quite, because it looked nothing like an igloo. It was just a snowbank that we would hollow out these tunnels inside of it, and then we'd hollow out the snowbank itself so we would sit inside of it and play games. And that's what we would do when I was like really little with the neighborhood kids, and that's also one of my favorite memories. But here it is, the pieces slowly coming together. We've got the couches, the pink beds, adding a few extra details like the candles, because we would always light up the room using candles. And back then when I was little, I used to have a golden retriever puppy, so I thought this kind of fit for this build. I know it's not a real dog, but it was as close as I could get, so it reminds me of my childhood pet. I miss them very dearly. And then I also just wanted to fill in this last little corner, so I wanted to add almost like a wardrobe area where you could get ready, and I kind of had to mess around with how I would place these items just because of how tight the space was. At this point, I was running out of space, and I was kind of regretting my decision to use a smaller room, but at the same time, at the end, I think it does look really well, or look really good with it being in a much tighter area. I do end up rotating them just slightly, and I add in this little partition because I wanted to separate the room just a little bit to give it that effect of like you have a little bit of privacy in the area that you're getting ready compared to the rest of the room. I didn't really like it against the bed, so again I moved it and messed around with it and had to adjust where the wardrobe and this little vanity was and kind of put it at an angle facing each other just in the corner of the room. Just like that. I feel like it looks a little bit better than having it out in the middle, and it's so awkward. I wish I could just like hold a button down when I'm placing these so that they're not locked to the grid, kind of like what you can do in The Sims. Sadly, we can't. I really wish that was a thing because I would love to move it just like 1 millimeter to the side instead of just having to move it to like a whole grid space to the side. Do you know? Does anyone else have this struggle? Because I definitely struggle with that. And then one of the last things that I'm placing here is a little wreath just above the window. We always had wreaths in the house. My mom would actually make a new wreath every single year for Christmas. And then I felt like I had to place this little ornament crown. I feel like it's not used enough, especially after previous weeks when we were looking for it and no one had them. So it's a goal of mine now to add this crown in as many builds as I could. I wanted it to put it on top of the wardrobe, but it didn't work for me, so I just placed it down on the side. I still think it looks cute. It's a nice little detail, and I feel like it's an item that's not used as often, so there we go. A nice little crown to wear when you wake up Christmas and to see all the presents that were left for you. But yes, this is pretty much the finished build. At this point, I'm just looking for extra items that I don't really have to place. I don't really have many items to place on the wall yet at this point in the game, as I'm still mostly focused on exterior builds instead of interior builds. But this is the final look. Little turnaround of the build. It's very, very pink, which really does match my aesthetic and my kind of design, I guess. But yeah, this is the final build, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and don't forget to go down and check all the other content creators' videos in this collab. If you did like this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can see more of my content and like the video. It really does help out the channel. And if you've gotten this far, comment down below what your favorite Christmas memory is. I'd love to know. Bye!